welcome to the National Veterans Day Parade, the 75th annual in Birmingham, Alabama, the nation's original. I'm Karen Day, and I have Matt Stevens with me, and we are glad to be here with you today. The parade is right down the street, and it's on its way, but first we need for our dear friend Mike Oakley to introduce the national anthem.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, to kick this parade off, we're honored to have local singing, I call him a star, Rob Langford. He's a member of Trustful Veterans Committee and American Legion Post 205 to lead us with our national anthem. So you know what to do, stand up. If you're wearing your headgear, take it off. Put your hand over your heart, or veterans can salute. Rob Langford, take it away.
Oh, see, and you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rent away, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rob Langford, Trustful Zone.
Are we back? Yes. We give hearty thanks to Rob Langford, our friend, for singing the national anthem.
And retired Command Sergeant Major Mike Oakley, mayor of Centerville, who's with us every year, announcing for the folks out on the street. And welcome. Yep. This is the 75th anniversary, the Diamond anniversary. Thank you, my wife, Diamond.
Hello.
So we're going to have some motorcycles clear the route out, and we should be getting started here pretty soon.
Absolutely.
Karen, thank you for having me back again.
We're
I love
thrilled.
It.
Absolutely thrilled. I'm not sure if you're the one bringing the rain or not.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, but there has been a lot of rain. Fortunately, it's getting better every year. You know, last year we had rain halfway through the parade, and it kind of tapered out at the end. I think this year, as you can see on the screen, I mean, you know, we're rain-free now. There's no rain expected, so I think we'll be able to get the whole thing in pretty dry. So that's going to be good.
I'd like to take a look at the parade route, because it's always interesting where people are along the route.
This year's route is the original, in reverse. It starts at the top of downtown by Alabama School of Fine Arts on 18th Street, looking across the valley toward Red Mountain. Head south on 18th, past Alabama Power and the stunning Lyric and Alabama theaters, and turn left onto 2nd Avenue North. Past the McWane Center and Pizitz Building, cross 20th Street, past the City Federal Building and Levy's, 4 generations of veterans thank you, and turn left onto 22nd Street. Head north 3 blocks past St. Paul's Cathedral and the gorgeous Birmingham News Building, and turn left onto 5th Avenue North past the Redmont Hotel, the Regions Plaza on the Birmingham Green, which is great for watching the parade, and then make the only right turn onto 19th Street, hitting the home stretch past the historic First Methodist Church and on up past the viewing stand in front of City Hall.
All right, and looks like the motorcycles are just about done with clearing the route, so we should have people coming up over the hill pretty soon.
You call it clearing a route. I call it showing off. I love it when they do that.
Well, I mean, if you're going to be out here, I don't know how they're doing it on a wet street. My wife has a motorcycle, and I want nothing to do with it outside of the neighborhood, much less trying to turn donuts in the middle of downtown.
I can see her with a motorcycle, actually.
Yes, you should.
But these are our absolute finest. These are the Birmingham Police Department, and we could go on and on about how much we appreciate them, especially downtown Birmingham. But this is what they do every year. I don't know if they run circles the entire route or if they just do it for us, but I'd be falling over dizzy if that were me.
Yeah, not something. And again, my wife now has a motorcycle. That's not easy. I mean, just doing exactly that is not very easy, because I learned the hard way and dumped ours into a fence.
Did you really?
I did, yeah, in the backyard. We were just going 10, 15 miles an hour trying to do exactly that and lost it into a fence. So very, very complicated what they're doing there, weirdly enough.
I love getting to look at the crowd while we watch them come. See what they are. There's a thank you veteran sign. Goodness.
Okay.
Look at that. Yes.
Now we are in business.
I remember one year they had to tell them to hurry because they were having too much fun showing off.
So with the 75th anniversary this year, you told me we kind of got a special guest, or several four-legged special guests.
We do. We do. We definitely have the Budweiser Clydesdales. We're not exactly certain when they're going to appear today because of the rain.
Yeah.
But here they are. Look at that. Like blue angels, not bumping into each other. Absolutely. Birmingham Police and American Red Cross. And Matt's always the one able to talk about what they really do when you're out in the field.
American Red Cross, we're going to see a lot of them today. They've got a few different entries, but they provide a host of services through the military and veteran community. Most importantly is something called a Red Cross message. So anywhere you are in the world, no matter what's going on, Red Cross can get a hold of you. And that's a lot of times what happens is people will be overseas and doing their deployment. Something will happen. They need to come home right then, not just when the Army or the Marine Corps can get them back. So Red Cross messages are an excellent way of being able to get somebody back to their family in a very, very quick time. And that's just one of the many things that Red Cross does for the military community or overall, particularly for the veterans.
Are you getting a load of this? They have never, ever, ever turned out for us quite like this.
Well, I suppose if they've been sitting under a bridge waiting for the rain to end for 2 hours, they're ready to have some fun.
Did you see that figure 8?
They've done a few of them. I don't even know how. Yeah, no thank you. But they're doing really good at it.
There's the figure 8 again. Look at that. I wonder if they ever mess up. There we go. Okay. So that's why we were talking about the Red Cross, because we got a peek at them.
Motorcycles are having some fun.
Motorcycles having lots of fun. So who you see coming toward us, the color guard for the day, is the Shades Valley High School Marine Corps Junior ROTC. I keep trying to talk, and Brian keeps sneaking back. Yes, this is the American Red Cross. Okay. So now you're looking at Shades Valley High School Marine Corps Junior ROTC. They are a signature academy part of the Jefferson County Board of Education, and this one is specifically for ROTC.
Yeah, and this specific ROTC is consisting of cadets from Shades Valley and Clay Chalkville, so kind of a combined effort there. Each branch of service has a reserve officer training candidacy program, and so these are high school or college students that ultimately would like to join the military as an enlisted officer. So they do some training and some classes while they're in school, and at the completion of that school they go on and most of the time they become officers.
And now you see Raymond Weeks' family. They're marching this year. It's the 75th anniversary. They march every year because Raymond, their grandfather, is the one that strove long and hard to change Armistice Day to Veterans Day. And we did it 7 years early in Birmingham before they finally made it a federal holiday. And it's not shooting just for Armistice Day for World War I, as for all veterans.
Very instrumental in his family, and they last night at the banquet they received an award.
Did they?
Yeah, for the Weeks family for all of their years of dedication to this parade.
As it should be. And there's a memorial over in Lynn Park commemorating the fact. And so like we said, we've got Ramsey High School Army ROTC and Ramsey High School Band coming toward us.
The Ramsey High School Blue Pride of the Southeast Band, led by Director of Bands Christopher Stewart and Assistant Director of Bands Darian Smith. Drum majors are Caden Dunlap, Juarez Cook, and Ariana Goldsmith.
I'm wondering where they were hiding in the rain.
Well, they're dry, and I bet they're a lot happier that they're dry.
No doubt.
So these are all high school students that in some way, shape, or form are interested in a career in the military, and they're preparing themselves through a lot of close order drill, as you can see here. A lot of, looks like they may be calling out a chant. Let's see if we can catch it.
And the last is their unarmed, how did they call it? The unarmed drill team.
The unarmed drill team?
Yes. There's an unarmed drill team in color guard. And Ramsey is absolutely one of the prettiest schools in Birmingham. It opened in 1930. It's been a college prep since the 70s and an international baccalaureate since 2013. And these students, the college acceptance rate from Ramsey is excellent.
A lot of close order drill and some hand movements here, and this is one of the ways that you see a lot of close order drill, and that's in the bands and the students marching. And what that is it's a way to instill discipline. One of the hallmarks of great military leaders is the ability to instill good discipline in others, and by learning to march as a group, and either in a band like we see Ramsey High School coming up, or with the ROTC cadets, they're really learning the foundations and values to be able to go forward and have a really good military career. And now we see the Ramsey High School Marching Band.
They're led by Christopher Stewart and the Assistant Director of Bands Darian Smith. And their drum majors, Caden Dunlap, Jerez Cook, and Ariana Goldsmith.
The Blue Pride make their way across our review stand. A lot of high stepping here.
Oh, my favorite part.
And
Give
the
us
bass
those
drop.
drums. Yes.
You can't have a good high school band without a good high school band drum section. It's just not something that you can do. And they have a really good one. So this is the Shades Valley Marine Corps ROTC. The Shades Valley Technical Academy, Marine Corps, JROTC.
You see it coming, Shades Valley Technical Academy, the Marine Corps, JROTC. Hoorah! Under the direction of Cadet Captain Joseph Lanzoni, Cadet Sergeant Major Kyle Allison, it's the Jefferson County Board of Education.
And as per the usual, Karen, right behind the Marines, you will see Miss Alabama in a drop-top Corvette.
Yes, we will. Yeah, Miss Alabama.
Miss Alabama, Lindsay Gaines, Miss Alabama 2022. She's a recent graduate of the University of Alabama with a Bachelor in Arts and Dance Performance and a Political Science minor. Traveling across Alabama, advancing the mission of the Miss Alabama organization and preparing to compete for my dream job of Miss Alabama, I am passionate about making the arts accessible for everyone, is her message.
Well, okay then.
She's also written a children's book.
It's called ABC, The Arts and Me. That's good.
I am sure that she is the happiest one we've seen so far that is happy it's not raining. Her day would go a lot differently if it was raining.
Who knows? She has smooth hair.
Very popular last night as well. There was a long line of young gentlemen waiting to have their turn at the photo booth with Miss Alabama.
Well, that's interesting. We need to hear more about that.
So now we've got Jefferson County Commissioner Sheila Tyson out of District 2. She's actually an Army veteran.
Yep.
Went in 79 and stayed in until 96, so she did 17 years in the U.S. Army.
She did. And what she does now is focus on county-sponsored grant programs designed to assist vets with mental health issues.
Outstanding.
And
outstanding.
She is a well-loved person in Birmingham. And the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Mark Petway, he and his officers are proud to honor and salute the brave men and women who have given and are giving a lifetime of service to this great, beloved country of ours. And there are not enough words to say thank you for your service. And those are the words of Sheriff Petway, who has just been reelected to his second term. Yeah, he came all the way up for the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department from streets. He's up.
All right.
Yeah.
So we got a lot going on here. So this is the Dixie Division with Therold Roberts.
That's Therold Roberts. He has got to be the oldest person in the parade. He and his friend Thurman Ryan walked every year.
Oh, wow.
Until about the last few years.
Well, he's definitely got the best ride going now. That's a old World War II Jeep with a 50 caliber machine gun, so he's no stranger to those things.
Nope.
And he's also being surrounded or flanked, if you will, by some gentlemen. These may be the Spirit of 45 gentlemen dressed up in period-accurate costumes from World War II. So we've got a paratrooper represented and also just a couple of different other Army uniforms there.
Yes. And now we are looking at the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency. Secretary Hal Taylor and Colonel Jimmy Helms, who's the Department of Public Safety Director.
And most importantly, they brought a boat. And I have seen that boat on many occasions because these are the ones that they use on all the lakes around central Alabama to essentially make sure that it's safe for everybody to be out there. So very neat of them to bring their boat out today.
Along with 6 troopers. They're representing Alabama Law Enforcement's Highway and Marine Patrol divisions, which I didn't realize they had a Marine Patrol.
That's what the boat's for.
Yeah, I guess they would do that down in the Gulf especially.
Yeah. Well, Alabama doesn't have Marines, but they do have police officers in boats.
Mm-hmm. So troopers have been serving the great state of Alabama by providing courtesy, service, and protection to the citizens since 1935. And they wish us all a very happy Veterans Day.
Mr. Therold Roberts being escorted to the reviewing stand.
Yeah.
Miss Jessica Colbert,
Therold
who is the secretary,
was showing me pictures right before.
Board.
Let's get him up there. He's tired.
He doesn't want help. That's the. He does not want help. He wants everybody to leave him alone, let him do it.
You're actually right.
Yeah.
He was showing me pictures of the ships that he was on. Like,
Thank you, sir.
it's nothing like Birmingham, Alabama on a Friday.
A little different story.
Yeah, these are very, very dramatic photos taken while he was serving in the Pacific.
How about that boat? The Marine Division. All right, it's the National Veterans Day.
So this is our float for the parade. This is the official float of the National Veterans Day Parade, located here in Birmingham, celebrating its 75th year.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gold Star Wives of America, Inc. is chartered by Congress in 1945 to provide.
So now we've got the Gold Star Wives of America. Gold Star Wives are, unfortunately, spouses whose service member, husband or wife, was killed during service. So, it's very important that we support these. Gold Star Wives are typically just ingratiated in the community with a lot of community service on a lot of different fronts. So these are really the bleeding hearts of America here, trying to open up for everyone else, and they themselves should be the recipients.
Now we have the riderless horse that is brought to you by Patriotism in Action.
And this is Karen's favorite part every year.
Well, my favorite part is watching the horses try not to go over the shield. But this riderless horse coda is sent to the 2021 National Veterans Day Parade from 2022 from River Johnston in Vestavia, Alabama. And the tradition is to honor the soldiers that have died. In the U.S., it's presented in funeral processions of officers of the U.S. Army and Marine Corps. The only surfaces
the setup
horses.
of the horse and the way that the boots are and everything else is symbolic of a lot of different things there.
Yep. And the support committee for the Alabama National Cemetery down in Montevallo, Alabama, their concern is that.
Well, first and foremost, they have a very large cemetery right here in Montevallo, the Alabama National Cemetery. This is the support committee that they're really concerned with making sure that wreaths are laid on the headstones when they should be. So during Veterans Day and things like that.
And this float represents their Wreaths Across America event. It's holiday wreaths are placed every headstone of every military grave in America, and you can find more information on participating in this year's Wreaths Across America at it's a long one, scalnc.org. So that's Support Committee of Alabama National Cemetery.org. And so, and now you're looking at
of the National Cemetery, which exists to ensure that their sacrifices
yes.
are never forgotten. You may have heard about Wreaths Across America. Holiday wreaths are placed in every tombstone. More information can be found on scalnc.org.
So here we have Major Dwayne Williams, a Freedom Memorial. We've got one of the first of probably 20 that we'll see today, military Humvees. That was kind of the standard vehicle that everybody used for everything for a number of years.
Blue Star Salute. Major Dwayne Williams, Jackson.
The Blue Star Salute Foundation honor those who have served, and are fallen heroes. Some of the ways that they do this are being the largest fundraising group in Alabama for Wreaths Across America, educating grade school students about the price of freedom, and partnering with the governor's office to grant state honors to fallen heroes.
Some of the ways they do this are being the largest fundraising group in Alabama for Wreaths Across America, educating grade school students about the price of freedom, partnering with the governor's office to grant state honors to fallen
And these
heroes.
are the Blue Star mothers of Greater Birmingham. The mothers, stepmothers, grandmothers, foster mothers, female legal guardians who have children serving in the military, guard, or reserves, or children who are veterans. And they support each other and their children while supporting and promoting patriotism. Their organization focuses every day. They're mothers. They will never, ever forsake the troops, their veterans, and the families of the fallen heroes.
And yeah, a Blue Star mother is just a mother of a service member or someone who's been, active duty or discharged from the military.
The organization focuses on the mission
And now we have a disaster relief. This is an American Legion post out of Fultondale, Alabama. And they do try to help out with disaster relief as well, as you can see. Not a lot of American Legion posts have a trailer of that size that they're using for disaster relief. So they've certainly focused on that as their hallmark.
When tragedy strikes, you will more than likely see this trailer on site. It's post 255 out of Fultondale, City of Heroes.
And then right behind the American Legion, we've got the Alabama School for the Blind.
Okay. The Alabama School for the Blind is directed by, the band is directed by Chad Bell. Now, it's made up of students with visual impairments from all across Alabama, and the mission of the school is to provide visually impaired students an education like everyone else, a comprehensive education that gives each student maximum potential development, and they create opportunities for students to participate in time-honored traditions like this parade. This is the first year that they have actually marched in the parade.
I was just about to ask you about that because I seem to remember them being in a trailer. So they're
always on a flatbed,
yeah,
and they always stop and perform for us. And this year they are marching. So let's give them a listen. This is the Alabama School of the Blind under direction of Chad Bell. That's the Alabama School of the Blind under the direction of Chad Bell.
marching for their first time, but they participate every year.
Every year. Absolutely. They've been doing this since the 80s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And during 2020, they did a fantastic, we had everyone do shout-outs and performances, the bands,
Right.
because we didn't have
2020 was the
street
COVID
parade.
year, right.
Right.
So we got some more. The Dixie division is
This
going to
is
be
the-
all throughout the parade, so you're going to see a lot of vehicles.
Right here we have the University of Alabama Air Force ROTC Color Guard, and this is the team that actually presents the flags at all of the football games for Alabama and
cool.
other events. We got to say something. Okay, and now we're looking at even more of Dixie division, and they are kind of interwoven throughout the parade. They restore and preserve historic military vehicles to honor our veterans that use them and for historical education, and they've been at it since 1999.
And typically they'll try to go to as many events as they can. You know, if there's a historic plane that flies into your town, there's odds are that there's probably going to be a couple of historic vehicles there brought by groups like this. If it's in the Southeast, it was probably Dixie Division that brought them.
Exactly. Do not sit or climb on vehicle. My goodness.
Well, that's relative. You know, it's a military vehicle, so you got to tell everybody that you're not allowed to do anything. That way, if you do anything, you can get in trouble for it. So you got to make sure to include that.
There you go. All right.
I bet they're having fun out of the turret of that Humvee there.
Yep. And now we have the Alabama Army National Guard with Major General Cheryl E. Gordon. She is the Adjutant General, Alabama National Guard, and Brigadier General Johnny R. Bass, Director of the Joint Staff of Alabama National Guard.
All right. So composed of citizen soldiers from dozens of specialties and units across our state, Alabama Army National Guard has been faithfully answering the call since 1807 through disaster response in every American war.
And they are led by the phenomenal 151st Army Band. Maybe they're followed by the Army Band. So yes, these men and women do live and work in communities throughout Alabama, and they don the uniform whenever duty calls. Alabama's homegrown soldiers are followed by our ever-ready Air Guardsmen, including Birmingham's own 117th Air Refueling Wing and the Red Tails of Montgomery's 187th Fighter Wing. The Alabama Air Guard fuels freedom, delivers success at home and across the world. Our airmen provide air refueling, air-to-air, and air-to-ground combat, worldwide communications, airlift supports, logistics, intelligence, medical services, anytime, anywhere. And the 20th Special Forces Group, also from right here in Birmingham, is closing out the formation. You'll see them in just a moment.
Very large showing from them every year.
Yes.
And they were wise enough to bring their families along with them. So you can see marching right behind them coming across the parade deck now is the families of the 117th ARW.
That's right. So what the Air Refueling Wing does, when you think about fighters that are flying, they run out of fuel, and the tankers circle. My dad flew KC-135s, and the tankers keep the fighters fueled so they can continue.
Yeah,
and
you
that's
can,
why
keep a
they're
plane,
support.
you can keep a plane in the air for a very, very long time. All you got to do is go back, and it's basically a floating gas station in the sky.
That's
and here
right.
are some of their special forces component. The vehicle that they're in is utilized for only that purpose. So this is kind of what their special forces tactical loadout would look like for that refueling wing.
Right. Since 2001, well, yeah, the Green Berets, they do leave their home and careers behind, and they come back. But since 2001, 25,000 of these Alabama National Guardsmen have left Birmingham and come back to fight the global war on terror in the wakes of tornadoes, hurricanes, winter storms, civil unrest, pandemics, etc., etc. Use the hashtag #GuardItAL, Guard It All, Guard It Alabama, to see more from our hometown troops and add to their feet.
So here you see some more vehicles from that 20th Special Forces Group. I'll be honest with you, I got out of the military after that one. I have no idea what that is, but it looks a lot better than the Humvee that you saw a minute ago. That's what I'm used to. So that looks like a significant improvement over what I remember riding around in.
And the Vietnam Veterans of America, their main mission is to promote and support the full range of issues that are really important to all veterans, to create a new identity for this generation of veterans, and to change public perception of Vietnam veterans. And you young ones need to do your research on how different soldiers are received different ways depending on the public opinion of the wars.
Very different.
But they still fought and they still defended America and freedom.
And they were not received very well when they came home. Unfortunately, they served in an unpopular action, not really their choice, but when they came back, whereas a lot of people were used to celebrating the veterans, they were kind of looked down upon and almost hated to a certain extent for participating in something that they honestly didn't really have a choice over. And they've been striving to kind of unroll that ever since.
And Lawrence Strayer is the president chapter of this particular chapter. So Winona High School, Junior ROTC, Birmingham, Alabama. They are the Dragons, and they are led by
First Sergeant Alfred McMillian, Senior Army Instructor, and Staff Sergeant Quentin Hatcher.
Yes.
The Winona High School ROTC Dragons.
And they're led by Cadet Command Sergeant Major Walton today. That's the student.
The Winona High School JROTC Dragons, led by Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Holy and Cadet Sergeant Major Walter. They represent Winona High School right here in Birmingham, Alabama. Go Dragons!
One of the things that I do like about our specific parade is that you'll see a lot of children marching or a lot of younger people marching. And yes, this is a Veterans Day parade, and the overall goal is to promote the causes of veterans. But as a veteran myself, I think it's absolutely wonderful to see that there's still engagement from people so young.
And now we have the Alabama Council of Boy Scouts of America. Now, we're going to tell you every year they're founded in 1910. The Boy Scouts of America is among our country's oldest continuous civic institutions. Their mission is to prepare youth to become America's future leaders and pillars of society.
Through personal example and hands-on experience, Scouts learns the value of making positive ethical and moral choices throughout their lifetime. Since 1910, about 110 million Americans have participated in Boy Scout of America programs.
And, of course, their Scout motto, be prepared. The Scout slogan, do a good turn daily. And the Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. That's 12 things.
It's kind of hard to not come out of that as a successful adult if you kind of follow the list there.
That's true. My brother was, for about 10 minutes, he was the youngest Eagle Scout in Montgomery.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I heard all of that.
Oh, we've got a lot of them here today, and they're very excited, waving, running. There was even one doing a cartwheel a minute ago. So glad to see so much engagement.
And, of course, the Girl Scouts, you could say the exact same thing for them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
The Girl Scouts were formed when Juliet Gordon Lowe got a look at the Boy Scouts from her friend, Robert Baden-Powell, who founded Boy Scouts, and she thought girls need something exactly like this. It really is exactly like it.
Yeah. Well, the Girl Scouts prepare girls to empower themselves. They promote compassion, courage, confidence, character, leadership, entrepreneurship, and active citizenship through activities involving camping, community service, learning first aid, and earning badges by acquiring practical skills, particularly the entrepreneurship. You are, first off, everyone likes Girl Scout cookies, but that's because the Girl Scout cookies are an incredibly successful business model.
They are,
and so that's a really good way to show these young ladies how to get involved.
Yeah, nowadays, the parents just take them to work and sit outside the grocery store, but I used to have to make change. I had to go door to door in my neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but this is Parker High School, Junior ROTC. They are another of Birmingham's fine public schools. They come from the oldest high school that opened in the fall of 1900. Parker High School, Junior ROTC.
Now we've got the Jewish War Veterans. Their post commander is Bob Roostein. The JWV of America began in 1896 and is the oldest consecutive running veterans organization in the nation. Birmingham JWV Post 608 consists of 23 veterans who served from World War II up to the Iraq-Afghanistan conflict. They're kind of known for volunteering at the Veteran Affairs hospitals around town, community events, other things like that.
Buffalo Rock is a fourth-generation family-owned business. It started right here in Birmingham. And if you don't know about strong, dark Buffalo Rock ginger ale, then
spicy ginger ale.
Yeah, it's actually medicinal. People prescribe it. But they are a first-time parade participant. And now... And we are looking at the Alabama Elks Association. We're looking at the state president, Lester Collins. We're very excited that they were able to be in the parade today. It was a touch and go for a minute. And the vet centers.
Yes, the Birmingham Vet Center. Vet centers in general provide a wide range of social and psychological services, including professional readjustment counseling to eligible veterans, active duty service members, including National Guard and Reserve components, and their families. This mobile vet center continues service to rural and underserved areas and is also available in times of emergency response.
And who do we have here? The horses that were able to make it out today. We have the S&Z Farms from Jemison, Alabama. It's down in Shelby County. They want to thank all veterans for their sacrifice.
Can't have a parade without a horse.
No, but we've got about 30 of them today. We've got Carousel Breeds. And we say hello to Miss Libby Shackelford. Thank you for bringing all your girls. And also, among these, we have Little Boots Rodeo Queen 2022, Miss Sophie Weiss. That's a trophy I would like.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
These riders practice hard, love serving the community, and especially love to share the beauty of horses with the world.
And it looks like they're not afraid of the shield on the street this year. I'm impressed with that. Okay. Oh.
And what could possibly be better than a regular horse? A miniature horse. With a toddler on it.
That's
So
priceless.
that's the highlight of the horses right there so far. She's having a good time.
Some people get a little mini four-wheeler. Some people get a Barbie Jeep. And some people get a little bitty.
Right for the horse.
Holy cow. That is beautiful. Oh, and also we're dealing with Sherritt Farms. They are honoring, Sherritt Farms is the third group to bring horses today, and they're honoring Gunnery Sergeant Alfred Ted Reed of the Marines, and James H. Sherritt Sr. of the Navy, Johnny Day, Private First Class, 1st Airborne Army, Billy Curl of the U.S. Navy, and Specialist Ryan Wanstead, Combat Engineer in the Army.
And they've got their support bus with them. So they've got a pretty decked out Sherritt Farm support bus.
And what they do, they offer their farm to people that gain from animal therapy.
Oh, wow.
So they share their love and the therapy of animals in a place where riders can build trust, loyalty, work ethic, and enjoy the outdoors.
A lot of veterans that come back and have particularly PTSD or other issues find that, being around animals, being around nature in general is very helpful to them. So glad that they're helping out with that type of service.
And here are the unsung heroes.
Yeah.
Everybody,
the men that follow the horses.
Please give a hand. They're like the end of the fractured fairy tales coming along, sweeping up at the end. God love them. So the Birmingham VA Medical Center.
That's the main medical center here in Birmingham,
That's
main
right.
hospital.
And the Birmingham VA healthcare system serves over 71,000 veterans through the North and Central Alabama. The Birmingham VA operates 10 veteran outpatient clinics. They've been serving Alabama veterans since '53, and they'll celebrate 70 years of service to the community next year. Today, we thank their communications man for sharing the parade link far and wide among hospitals. This has been our wish, our personal wish, is that the people who can't make it to the parade today can still watch the parade today. So I personally say hello to all the folks that have a link to their room in the Birmingham VA Hospital and the ones in North and Central Alabama. Happy Veterans Day to you. We hope you get better soon. Thank you.
And thank you for everything you do and everything you've done.
Yes. And the Vet to Vet Birmingham chapter, that's a group that was established at the VA hospital in Birmingham. They're on the main floor when you walk in to help you with all of the red tape and the craziness that comes with trying to get well. My Healthy Vet, retrieving military records, claims, etc.
The VA can be a very tedious process, and the more help that you get, the better. And everybody that's in the VA knows that. So.
But when they
glad
do,
to see so many people supporting them.
And when they do, they do.
And
they
now
are there
for
to
my
help.
favorite part
Okay.
of the parade every year. This is our MASH helicopter. Thank you, Southern Museum of Flight, every year for bringing this wonderful thing out. So this was the main helicopter that you would have used in Korea. Prior to this helicopter, if you were injured on a battlefield, the odds weren't very good for you. World War II, if you were injured on a battlefield, the odds were not very good for you. But after World War II and before the Korean conflict, Army really started investing into helicopters, and this was their primary go-to for the Korean conflict for medical evacuation, which was a new thing. Medical evacuation by a helicopter, and you can see the gentleman sitting next to the helicopter. That's a stretcher. There's a stretcher on the outside of the helicopter, so they could, at the very least, land in the middle of a battlefield, throw you onto the side of the helicopter, and fly away at 90 miles an hour, and get you back to a hospital. And once they started doing that, your chances of surviving being injured on a military went up dramatically. Thank you, Southern Museum of Flight, every year for that.
And now we have Marion Military Institute. There are three components to this. We've got the band, we have the marching unit, and we have the drill team. All a treat.
And the unspoken fourth component, precision drill.
Yes.
This is your precision drill specialist here.
So Marion Military Institute, Alabama's military college of leadership and development, they were established in 1842. They're the oldest and largest military junior college in America. And leading the corps is Cadet Major John Cade Tunnell from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And the band, the
band, known as the Heartbeat of the Corps, supports the Marion Military Institute, the Corps of Cadets, in various events around the state and the nation with parade ceremonies and musical presentations. Band is directed by Michael Jimenez and commanded by Cadet Captain Lucas Young from Birmingham, Alabama. There are several group drill teams that are going to be going across the review stand here.
But this one is extra, excuse me, this was an extra special one. They were established in 1950. The Marion Military Institute Knights have participated in various special events to include Indianapolis 500,
oh, wow,
the Sugar Bowl, the United States America Academy drill competitions. They're no joke. And in just a moment,
and there's a lot of them. And if you knew where Marion Military Institute was located in Alabama, you wouldn't imagine that there was enough beds in that town to support these amount of. But they've got a very large school down there, and known nationwide for their precision and for the students that they put.
Yep, the Corps is 316 strong. Did you say that? Representing 38 states and 43 of Alabama counties.
I did not, but I do believe you.
The thing I like to say out loud is that over 210 generals and admirals are graduates of Marion, along with countless leaders in government and private industry. So they integrate intellectual leadership, character, physical development in order to prepare the cadets for success. And now, the aforementioned drill team.
Silent drill team. They should, typically they see if they'll stop and give us a little show here.
They absolutely. What just happened? Boo. I'm so mistaken.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
honestly thought they were stopping. But
maybe because of the rain. Usually we get treated to some really good close order drill.
So here's Howland Mad Smith Detachment of the Marine Corps League. And they want you to know that members of the Marine. Well, yeah, I'm gonna let Matt tell you about this. He's a Marine.
She's just doing that because I was a Marine. Members of the Marine Corps League joined together in camaraderie and fellowship to preserve the traditions and promote the interests of the United States Marine Corps, banding together active duty and retired Marines to promote the ideals of American freedom and democracy.
Guess what? We do
they
get
snuck
a treat.
Up on us.
They snuck up.
The White Knights, civilian line.
Well, the silent drill team snuck up on us, Karen.
I want to hear more from you because you tell us what's happening right here.
So basically what they're doing, it's called close order drill. They're doing it silently because a lot of the movements that you're making here are done by reaction to sound. So if we're not talking, if we're not making any other movements or motions, then it's easy for them to pick up on the sound of the rifles hitting the street to figure out where their movements are supposed to be. And that's why you see that essentially all of them are able to do the exact same thing at the exact same time. It takes a lot of dedication. It's incredibly hard. I hated doing it. You have to do it in Marine Corps boot camp, and it's almost impossible to get it right. So really good show from them today.
Check out MMI. They need good men and women to continue the legacy. The White Knights of Marion Military Institute.
How heavy are those rifles?
I honestly don't know. I think sometimes the drill rifles are lighter weight than an average rifle, but even if that's the case, those things are at least 3 or 4 pounds. So it's not terribly easy to just fling it around your shoulder like that at all.
There's some proud moms and dads out there today. Jackie Hamrick Beck is one of them.
He did. This looks like a commercial.
Oh, and Carrie Wilson.
Absolutely beautiful.
Takes a lot of hard work and practice to get it that accurate.
Mm-hmm.
The MMI White Knight
Okie dokie.
Pacific Drill Team.
There we go. Now, back to our regularly scheduled programming. We told you about Hal and Mad Smith. And they are all about American freedom, democracy, voluntarily aiding and rendering assistance to all Marines, corpsmen, Navy chaplains, to their widows and orphans, and to perpetuate the history of the United States Marines.
Yeah, so you've got the American Legion, you've got the VFW. The Marine Corps decided it needed its own, so it created one, Marine Corps League.
And here's Colonel Robert L. Howard State Veterans Home. The veterans from Colonel Robert's home in Pell City, Alabama. Their names are on all the trucks. It's too many to keep up with, but my goodness, the stories that those men can share. And we wish you absolute happy Veterans Day to the guys.
Glad they were able to get some, you can see there's veterans inside the vehicles. They were allowed to participate, so outstanding that the state home decided to do that.
Yes. So Jackson Olin. We've got the Mustang Battalion, JROTC from Jackson Olin High School, led by Colonel Irma Jackson, Senior Army Instructor, and Sergeant First Class Robert Bess, Army Instructor.
The PD Jackson Olin High School Marching Band, known as the Marching Mustangs and the Mean Green Fighting Machine, was formed by late Amos Flash Gordon in 1952 when the school was named Western High School. Band is made up of students from the Pratt City, Wylam, and Inslee areas and carries a long-standing reputation for being a show band. The MGMM has boasted numerous award-winning performances under the band director Gordon and late Donald Crawford. They are now under the leadership of Kendrick Fitzpatrick.
Thank you for asking.
And then you were talking about this earlier, Vet to Vet, and this is the Birmingham chapter of Vet to Vet.
Yeah, what they do, they are there in the front lobby of the VA hospital.
Yeah.
When you walk in, they're there to help you because my goodness, the portals.
Yeah, simply walking into the VA it can be daunting enough for a lot of veterans. So
yes.
Just people being there to tell them where to go a lot of times is a start of something better.
Yeah, just a lot to it.
Now we've got the Southern Preparatory Academy. Battalion Commander of the Cadet Corps is...
Wait. Before we do that, we want... You know what? Let's go. I wanted to mention the honored veterans. There are 2 honored veterans from the Iraqi and Afghanistan wars that have just gone by. And there we are. We get to see them in their truck. Okay, so now I can do it. I don't have to hurry. They are Joshua Wascom, U.S. Army Infantry Specialist from 2003 to 10, and Jack Harkins, Special Forces Battalion Heavy Weapons Expert from 1958 to 60.
Outstanding.
Now, okay, Southern Preparatory Academy is on your screen right now. They were founded in 1898. This is the other military school. They're Alabama's official military secondary school and one of only 13 boys' military schools in the U.S. So we had Marion, but this is for secondary school, high school.
Yeah, this academy is in the town of Camp Hill, Alabama, northwest of Auburn. They educate boys in the 6th through 12th grades from across the U.S. and foreign countries. The school is fully accredited and boasts a 100% college acceptance rate.
Say that again. 100%.
Fully accredited and 100% college acceptance rate.
Yeah, hear that, people.
Yeah. That is a small 6th grader.
Don't tell him that. He'll be 6 feet tall by
he's going to college. He'll be fine.
Yeah, nobody will recognize him at the reunion.
Yeah. This is the Daughters of the American Revolution.
So these are
the Alabama Society for the Daughters of the American Revolution, State Regent Patrice Donnelly, hosted by the Cahaba Chapter National Society Daughters of the American Revolution in Birmingham, Alabama. The Daughters of the American Revolution were founded in 1890, headquartered in Washington, D.C., in a non-profit, non-political volunteer women's service organization dedicated to promoting patriotism.
And there's the State Regent, Patrice Donnelly, riding with the
Cahaba Chapter. Yep. DAR members volunteer millions of service hours annually in their local communities, including support active duty military personnel and assisting veteran patients, awarding thousands of dollars in scholarships and financial aid every year to students, and supporting schools for underserved children with annual donations exceeding $1 million. one of the most inclusive societies in the country. Daughters of American Revolution boasts 190,000 members and 3,000 chapters across the United States.
And we have the Birmingham Territory chapter and the Princess Sehoy chapter and Lily of the Cahaba.
Any woman 18 years or older, regardless of race, religion, or ethnic background, who can provide lineal descendant from a patriot of the American Revolution is eligible. So yeah, read what you see there. These are people that can trace their lineage back to someone that fought in the American Revolutionary War.
And I can actually do that.
You can?
I have never filled out the paperwork, but several members of my family passed. Okay, so we also have the General Sumter chapter. We have the David Lindsay chapter. We also have, we won't get too far ahead.
There are a lot of Daughters of the American Revolution in this parade.
And then, of course, the sons. Here we have the sons of the American Revolution, and several members of various chapters of them are present along with the Alabama Society. So representing America's first veterans, sons and daughters of the American Revolution can trace their ancestry back, just like Matt said.
And we got a gentleman ringing a reproduction bell here.
We can't decide if it's Paul Revere's bell or the Liberty Bell.
I assure you that it is more pleasant here than it is standing right next to it. Yeah, he is going after it with the bell.
So after the DAR, we have the Krulak Marine Alliance of Alabama. The VFW traces its roots back to 1899, when veterans of the Spanish-American War and the Philippine insurrection all rounded up and were looking to get benefits from all the things that they had done.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Krulak Marine Alliance of Alabama, a veteran nonprofit foundation serving Marines in distress and need, and as resources permit, other veterans. Our signature program is Spare a Life, Alabama Veteran Suicide Prevention Initiative. To date, 22 veterans have been deterred through their program alone. Following behind them is the
Veterans of Foreign Wars, Department of Alabama. Along with Eric Dudash, the junior vice commander. He's the Department of Alabama Phantom. And Derek Dudash is the Veteran of the Year for VFW. And he's riding along. I'm looking for Phantom. There's also...
Ooh, hopefully we'll get a good shot on the World War II motorcycle and sidecar with attached dog that's coming across.
That's the one. That's,
yeah?
That's Eric and Phantom.
That's cool. So we've got a World War II area motorcycle.
1899 to 1902, founded local organizations to secure rights and benefits for their service. Annually, the nearly 2 million members of the VFW and its auxiliaries contribute more than $8.6 million of volunteer.
So what do we know about Phantom?
Throughout the community.
Apparently, he either likes this a lot or he hates it a lot. I have a feeling there's a big story behind Phantom and his service.
Oh, yeah.
Adorable's not the word for something with teeth like that and a service vest. So, Veterans of Foreign Wars. We have
so we got a lot of Veterans of Foreign Wars coming up here, so we're going to kind of go from one chapter to the next here.
Okay, you help me.
So the one that we have coming up across now, 12185, is actually the post that I'm affiliated with. They're located here in Alabaster. They also work with a project called Support Our Soldiers of Alabama. That was started by a local mother, Sharon Rivers, whose Marine Corps son was killed in Afghanistan. She started Support Our Soldiers. The local VFW post helps out with that as well. You see Billy Millington, commander of the VFW post 12185, walking as well. And we've got a nice old international truck full of veterans of Desert Storm. That's a VFW chapter as well.
And look at this, Lance Corporal Thomas Rivers. The fact that they have an auxiliary, nobody else's post has popped out with an auxiliary today.
So each VFW post, the auxiliary is the element of spouses that can support the members who are eligible for VFW, because you have to have served overseas in a combat zone to be a member. So they have a lot of support communities like their own auxiliaries as well. This is the Lakeshore Foundation coming up.
Yes, and
Lakeshore Foundation is a nonprofit organization here in Birmingham, now serves all veterans with free membership to participate in fitness, aquatics, sports, recreational activities since 2006.
Yep, and they have Lima Foxtrot, which is specifically for military rehabilitation, ongoing. And Priority Veteran is a program of United Way, Central Alabama. They have assisted over 3,000 veterans to find stable housing. And that is a big priority.
Absolutely.
Priority Veteran, thanks to the United Way. Briarwood Christian School, the Marching Lions, their director is Chris Nugent. And we admire him. He has done great work as a band director that we have seen a few times in this parade.
Yeah, the young men and women of the band and visual ensemble are unified in their desire to honor Jesus Christ in their musical performances. These students strive to achieve excellence and serve as servant leaders and musical ambassadors within their own school and throughout the community. God bless America is their message.
And
I believe they're
Briarwood
going to give us a performance here.
Yes, let's turn it up. Briarwood Christian High School, Marching Lions. Chris Nugent, director. That's a beautiful shot.
Absolutely. That's our new Skycam this year.
So here we have the American Legion, and my goodness, there are a bunch of them. There's Support Our Soldiers of Alabama and American Legion Department of Alabama. It's going to go on and on. We will say as much as we can. The department vice commander, the American Legion of Alabama, is Charles Marsh. Donna Hinkle is the department auxiliary president, and they're representing Alabama.
So you got a lot of American Legion and VFW are kind of the two biggest, on the forefront. Disabled American veterans as well, but there are two or three really big organizations in the United States that do the most for veterans. American Legion and VFW are certainly going to be those two.
We also have Ron Bradstreet, who's the alternate National Executive Committee, American Legion Department of Alabama and American Legion Post 9/11 Hoover. So the American Legion, different people say different things. Its mission, did you say, is to enhance the well-being of American veterans?
I did
families?
not, but that's certainly accurate.
And communities.
So American Legion, you can essentially, if you're a veteran, if you served in the military, there's probably a good path for you to being, a member of the American Legion. So they kind of the group with the largest possible membership base. So that's why we see so many of them represented here today. Is they've got the larger numbers, and that allows them to be more supportive, and so they do. The American Legion in any town and wherever you're from, American Legion has a pretty significant presence.
The American Legion Riders are well known for their charitable work, which has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for local children's hospitals, schools, veterans' homes, severely wounded service members, and scholarships. nationwide, the American Legion Riders have participated in a legacy run to raise money for a legacy scholarship fund established to provide scholarships for children of U.S. military personnel that have been killed since September 11th, 2001. So there are a lot of different things that they do.
We've got American Legion Fairfield, Unit 347, coming across as well.
The American Legion Auxiliary.
Now, the American Legion, the B.W. Howell Jr. leadership group missions supports and honors the sacrifices of those served, enhancing the lives of their veterans, the military personnel, and the families. It sounds like a lot, but you've got
Sounds like a fire truck. Sounds like the Southern Vintage Fire Apparatus Association. Again, one of my favorites every year.
Yes, do not worry. This is not the end of the parade, because you know Birmingham Fire ends it. This is Southern Vintage Fire Apparatus Association. They have their own museum. They
preserve the history and traditions of the firefighting profession through the collection, preservation, and restoration of fire apparatus, tools, and related equipment, and honor those who have served in that profession.
You can go to their website. You can go look at their trucks. You can ring that bell. I have done it. You can learn how to steer on the back end of the hook and ladder truck.
This is all at their museum, or just in general?
At their museum. It's awesome. And their Mack truck with the big dog on the front.
And these are old, too. These are, 50, 60, maybe even older, year-old
They are.
trucks.
They buy them, restore them. They got to have a Dalmatian.
Dalmatians required on fire trucks.
Yes, hopefully that will be the first of 2 Dalmatians in our parade today. Our fingers are still crossed for the Clydesdales.
But this is the one that Karen and I are going to lift after the parade is over. We
Oh
want
my
the ladder
goodness.
truck.
Yeah, I do call the back steering wheel.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's very strange. You steer where you want to go.
Yeah, isn't
not
it like
what you-
reverse or yeah, it's reverse steering.
Yeah, you would know. You're a parallel parker from way back.
Now we've got the Eagle Wings Motorcycle Association. Danny Baker, Alabama Eagle Wings Motorcycle District Director.
They just like to ride. They
Eagle-
like it. They're veterans, and they salute America while they ride. That is absolutely their thing.
They're a simple, fun, riding social association of like-minded motorcycle enthusiasts. The name Eagle Wings came from the feeling we get when riding our bikes and trikes. We soar like majestic eagles.
They have 12 regions, 7 in the U.S., 3 in Canada, and 2 overseas, for which I say, well, happy Veterans Day. Go get them, Tiger. Somebody always has to carry the cooler. Show that little trailer on the back of that motorcycle. See it? There it is.
He's got the cooler.
Participants in our parade area, having fun.
And we are continuing with the American Legion because there are so many. And American Post 107 from Leeds, Alabama. Once a soldier, always a soldier.
Once a soldier, always a soldier.
Mm-hmm. And it has the names of those in their group that they have lost.
So this is our commemoration of the fact that there are a lot of homeless veterans. There's over 200 of them in the state of Alabama alone.
And there we have Ron Bradstreet, top of the chain for American Legion. We mentioned him earlier.
Post 911 from Hoover.
Got American Legion Post 911 in Hoover. And they've got a motorcycle presence as well.
She just told me.
Good looking bike, huh?
Sorry, a lot going on here.
And she's got that queen wave down. Staff Sergeant Michael Hosey, American Legion Post 205. Legionnaires Red Goodwin, Paul Henry.
Yes, more and more and more.
And here he's
Sergeant.
Additional Clay Trustwell, their name in honor of Michael Hosey, who was lost in combat in Afghanistan.
We've got American Legion posts and riders groups from Clay Trustful. This one actually is from Clay Trustful. That's named in honor of Staff Sergeant Michael W. Hosey, who was lost in combat in Afghanistan in 2011. And these are the Freestyle All-Stars. Christopher Seltzer, director. The Freestyle All-Stars is a group that was founded in 2013 under the Freestyle Percussion Foundation. And they participated in the Chicago Thanksgiving Day Parade. They performed at Disney, Universal Studios. They've won many awards and trophies and competitions throughout the U.S. And they're honored to be here today in the nation's original Veterans Day Parade. That's the Freestyle All-Stars.
Looks like they're going to give us a show as well.
Yep.
And wisely, they brought their drum line as well, so let's give them a listen.
Freestyle All-Stars.
It's a marching unit consisting of elementary, middle, and high school students. Our four main principles are discipline, confidence, commitment, and excellence.
All right. Excellent performance by them. So now we've got our Disabled American Veterans contingent. This is the Commander, Earl Frazier. Their mission statement, dedicated to a single purpose, empowering veterans to live high-quality lives with respect and dignity. Obviously, Disabled American Veterans, so their foundation is more in line with people who came back with Purple Hearts, combat injuries, or had to leave the military service early due to injury. So this charity focuses even more specifically within the veteran community on those who fall into that category.
The Alabama Artillery Group will be following.
All right, now we've got the Alabama Artillery Group. They brought cannons. Both trailers have actual Civil War cannons and a DAV, Disabled American member, riding on them.
And a member of the Fleet Reserve Association on the other. So we have two trailers
From the Civil War era, and members will
actual
be
cannons.
a member riding on each one, and a member of Fleet Reserve Association on the other. The Alabama Artillery Group.
That's new. I don't remember cannons in years past. We get Civil War cannons now. I like
right.
that. Those are very cool. It's always nice to see that yes, there are some things year in, year out that show up, and we have our regulars, but it's nice when we get some other things like this. Civil War cannons, not a lot of them.
I don't think one of those would do well on the interstate, driving along with the cannon pointed backwards.
Rare that you see one preserved that well, though.
Right. So these are the Buffalo Soldiers and Troopers Motorcycle Club, the Birmingham chapter. And Ice Cube is their president, Arthur Ice Cube Teal.
The National Association of Buffalo Soldiers and Troopers Motorcycle Club is an organization of professional men and women dedicated to the sport of motorcycle riding and safety. We ride our motorcycles, or as iron horses as they like to call them, to represent the horses ridden by the Buffalo Soldiers during the 1800s. Our objective is to educate those unfamiliar with the sacrifices and hardships of the Buffalo Soldiers in the 9th and 10th U.S. Cavalry. The Birmingham chapter was actually started in 2006, and that's who we have represented here.
Yes.
I don't think they're going to be doing any figure eights, though. I don't blame them.
They've done it. Well, they've done circles. Yeah. I'd love to see how many of them have their wives on the back. And the ones that don't, I want to know the story behind that, too.
Pretty simple. It's raining. Was raining. For those of you at home, it was raining.
And now we have
Bama Joy Riders Corvette Club with Wayne McKinney, Army, and Jeff Henley from the Navy. So the Bama Joy Riders Corvette Club has several veterans among their members. They find ways each year to give back to their community. Happy Veterans Day from the Bama Joy Riders Corvette Club.
They honked right on cue. Happy Veterans Day. Beep, beep, beep.
And no Veterans Day parade would be complete without Corvettes, because that's what you're required by law to do if you can afford it once you get out of the military.
Somebody forgot to shut his doors.
Yeah, no, I think he actually spent a lot of money to get him to do that, Karen. I do not think that is an error.
Did I just sound like a Karen?
Well,
That's
what are
Doris
you going to do? You
Those
know?
doors need to close.
You're a Karen, you're a Karen.
Talk to him. My goodness.
They light up and they make good noise.
I'll follow these, the guys and girls down 5920.
She's feeling it.
Well, see, now that the weather's cleared up, that's the way you want to go, right there.
You're right. The Bama Joyriders Corvette Club. And Fleet Reserve Association, they're part
The
of the
Ladies
club.
Auxiliary Fleet Reserve Association Southeastern Region President, chartered in the United States Congress in 1924. Fleet Reserve Association represents the interests of enlisted Navy, Coast Guard, and Marine veterans.
And you just saw Delta Airlines. You don't have to go back to them. But Delta Airlines has been a part of Birmingham community since 1929, and they have many veterans among their employees. And they're very proud to participate in this parade. They salute all who have served this great country, and they're grateful for the sacrifices they've made, including many Delta employees whose service we honor today.
Thank y'all. Free flights for everybody, right? Delta employees out of the military. Thank you so much.
I like it when companies are in the parade
Absolutely.
with their
And
employees.
Delta was founded in Atlanta, so that's kind of if you're in the deep south, if you will, Delta is kind of the long-standing majority shareholder there.
Yep. And these are, well, there's Iron City Wranglers, but there's also Jeep Girl Mafia. They're all kind of riding together today.
2 by 2. There's 60 of them. So we're going to witness a Jeep parade of about 60 Jeeps here.
And Jeep Girl, we're going to tell you a little bit about them. Jeep Girl Mafia is an all-girl, surprise, it's an all-girl Jeep club founded in June 2021. And that's just last year. So they're focused on fun and family-oriented activities and adventures for women who drive a Jeep. And their Jeep Club is excited to uphold the tradition of the Veterans Day Parade and honor veterans. So there you go. I just want to know if all their activities have the Jeep involved. Or is it just
I would
an excuse?
imagine at least half of the activities have the Jeep involved.
Yeah. I mean, Garden Club is not about gardening. Ever. So I just think.
So, well, I mean, you may have a point. They all may show up in Jeeps and then do other things.
That's right.
There are a lot of them.
Is that one driven by, I think we have faded into Iron City Wranglers. They are a local Jeep group made of current and veteran military and law enforcement, firefighters, EMS, other local patriots who share the same love for their family, for the community. Whether it's throwing a parade, conducting a fundraiser, escorting a fallen comrade to their final resting place, this Jeep group is always ready to serve no matter the mission, and that's Iron City Wranglers.
And like you said, a lot of the people driving those Jeeps are veterans. So good for them. Smart of them to get into a Jeep and then ride the route of the parade.
Yeah.
That's the veteran in them. They don't want to march anymore. They want a veteran.
So it's all girls in the Jeep Girl Club, but I don't think that you have to be a guy to be in Iron City Wranglers. Just putting that out there because I've seen
interested
a
in
few
joining.
female drivers in the Iron City Wranglers. Carry on. So these aren't like the muscle cars. I figured they'd be revving something.
What?
But they're so calm because they can climb anything. They don't have to.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going 90 miles an hour up a mountain. You're going like 20.
Straight
So, yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a good picture right there. My goodness.
I like that they've decorated. They really took to it and said, instead of just driving the Jeeps through town, why don't we just decorate them?
They make the dog match the Jeep.
Yeah, and we've got banners and we've got all kinds of things going on here. A lot of these are taking the time to honor, you know, they may be a veteran driving it, but they're also honoring other people on the side of their Jeep.
I wonder if his mother knows he's doing that.
She may be driving.
Yeah. You never know. Look at this. I am so glad the rain has cleared up.
I bet some of these people with some of the Jeep contingent is as well. I saw a lot of no doors, a lot of tops down. Turned out well.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you got a Jeep, I bet they're looking for members. They need a few more.
I don't know.
There you go.
if
There
all
is
heard.
an Iron City Wrangler lady Jeep driver. So you are confirmed, Karen.
And I don't know if y'all heard Mike Oakley. He said they're looking for members. It's like, why would Mickey? There's so many already. I don't think they're hurting for members. And so here we have the Pleasant View Missionary Baptist Church honoring veterans. 3 Hots and a Cot. The late co-founder of 3 Hots and a Cot and Navy veteran J.D. Simpson passed away last year, but he was absolutely dedicated to helping homeless veterans reintegrate into society, become independent and self-sufficient, and the slogan is helping all veterans find a way home. And that's 3 Hots and a Cot. And Building for Veterans, Sierra Terrell is the president, Martise Wiley vice. Building for Veterans is a nonprofit organization that helps disabled and homeless obtain suitable housing and provides temporary emergency relief. So that's Building for Veterans. And Veterans Transport from Coleman County, Veterans Transport is getting veterans to and from doctor's appointments at the VA in Birmingham, Jasper, or Huntsville. And you can take one worry off their minds so they can focus on what really, really matters. That's Veterans Transport of Coleman County, and there are several groups like that throughout the country. Some of them are actually pilots, private pilots who volunteer their small planes. At a moment's notice, one of these 200 pilots will say, I can do it, and they'll pick somebody up and fly them to another city.
Wow.
To Shriners Hospitals where they can go.
Outstanding.
So
we've got Team Corvette Alabama, Gary Nelson president. Team Corvette is a large Corvette club that is all about showing their Corvettes, racing, and all things patriotic to America. Happy Veterans Day from Team Corvette.
And they are pretty. And I happen to know that the head of Team Corvette sits in a chair behind a desk at Hendrick Chevrolet.
Really?
Yes. So, and he is absolutely dedicated to Corvettes.
It is the go-to car for, I don't know why us veterans are obsessed with Corvettes. I guess because they do that.
This is ever, if you've ever gotten a speeding ticket, you can come by City Hall and rev your engine up.
And they're going by nice and slow.
And we also need to make sure that we don't mix them up with Mid-South Corvette.
Oh, okay.
Because Mid-South Corvette guys also love to drive, and we are glad to watch them go by. So we got to love a true American muscle car.
And all things patriotic to do with America and patriotism. Happy Veterans Day from Team Corvette. That's what I want the old Stingray. Thank y'all.
They do love making noise, don't they?
I like to listen.
And I like the fact that they also decorated their cars, you know? It looks cool. Looks cool. Why just drive it when you can decorate it and drive it?
This year we're specifically telling people, red, white, and blue people, put it in the parade for the veterans.
Yeah.
There is Jim's studio. Gem Studio supports and honors our veterans. With the support of 2 of the disabled veterans, their studio offers a variety of dance classes for ages 3 to 18 in a warm and welcome environment. And these are Gem Studios. They love Melvin Coleman, who was in the Army 1975 to 86, and Darian Cady, Marine Corps 2005 to 2010.
President, Veterans Day in Birmingham. No kid, Mark sacrifices time, money, and effort to make this thing go off every year. We love him and love his patriotism and beauty. Gem Studio, Melvin Coleman, who served in the Army from 75 to 86. Darian Cady.
We have a super big surprise for you right about now.
Yes, I teased it early on, right at the beginning.
In 1933, the Clydesdales were introduced. We're going to tell you a little bit more about that in just a second. These are the Clydesdales. And riding on them today, Larry Labita is the 2022 Soaring Eagle Award recipient, and he is our 75th Parade Grand Marshal. And also with Larry Labita is Russell Redford of Folds of Honor. He's the board president and an ardent fan of the Clydesdales.
The Clydesdales began with Anheuser-Busch in 1933 as a gift to August Busch Sr. from his sons to celebrate the end of Prohibition. They toured the country, headed to Washington, and presented a first case of Budweiser to President Theodore Roosevelt.
That is true.
Started out with 6 horses, grew to 8, and then added the Dalmatian in the 50s.
Because you got to have a Dalmatian.
Yeah.
The idea that the Budweiser mascot has a mascot.
So we've got the Military Order of the Purple Heart, the commander of the chapter located here in Birmingham.
Military Order of the Purple Heart. Robert Jones, way to go. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't get a Purple Heart.
And we've got the adjutant and the commander of the same organization located here in Birmingham. The Order of the Purple Heart, so Purple Heart is what you get in the military if you were injured in overseas, injured in combat. So very important members of the veteran community, and this is their support group.
This
is Vet Dirty, Disaster Response Team Initiative. So this is located here in Birmingham. They go all over the Southeast. I know a couple years ago, I had a friend of mine who's a Marine Corps veteran. His house was damaged in the tornadoes that went directly through Nashville. Mm-hmm. They showed up. I was able to get in touch with them. They were going to Nashville anyway, and they linked up with a friend of mine, and now he has been helping them coordinate throughout the Southeast a little bit.
And they'll do anything.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They will do anything to clean up after drama. I'm not trying to be vague.
Yeah. Now the Zamora Shrine Dune Buggies.
Yes, these are the Zamora Shriners Dune Buggies. And the Zamoras, there are, my goodness.
They are loud.
We'll just let you enjoy them.
They are loud.
The riders unit.
They have the drill team, they have the riders, they have the dune buggies, and then they have the Leapin' Lena. And I think some of the absolute top dogs are riding the Leapin' Lena, but the world famous competition drill team, which supports 22 Shriners Children's Hospitals, and their motto is being, "We ride so they can walk."
And that they have been doing that for 60 years. That's
Yes.
kind of the leaping dune buggies is kind of the Zamora Shrine claim to fame.
Yes. And the cars.
We've got the Royal All-Stars of Birmingham dance team, founded by Jamia Cook. We promote positivity to our youth in the surrounding cities. We love to celebrate and support our vets, and we're thrilled to march and wave and bring cheer during today's National Veterans Day Parade. Glad to see them out.
There's a veteran in the Mix 97.3 truck. His name is Julian Logan, and he is, like I said, he's a veteran. He works at Summit Media, which is home to 8 Birmingham radio stations. Happy Veterans Day from Summit Media. And you are at the end of the parade.
The weather held out on us. We got the Clydesdales in, so I think we much more successful than last year. Weather is holding up for us. Maybe next year we'll actually get a sunny day. So thank you so much, Karen, for allowing me to come out and help you out again.
Absolutely.
I love it every year.
This parade on a rainy day, it ends when it ends, and we're very glad that you all were able to join us today. Again, this is the 75th National Veterans Day Parade, and in about 7 years you'll see the 75th Veterans Day Parade for America, because that's when it became a federal holiday. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans in the hospitals here that were able to watch us today. We hope you have a good day.
Thank
and
you.
We'll see you next year.